What's going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos from gfsantos.com. This is the fourth fucking time I'm trying to record this. I'm done trying to edit it. Like, however this comes out is how it's gonna come out, okay? So let's just go bare bones with it, all right? So about 2 weeks ago, I smoked weed on a Sunday, and I pretty much went on to smoke weed every day since then. Except for like 4 days, and it's totally had very similar characteristics as when I was like addicted to weed, but in the back of my mind I was very clear that, you know, I was just very clear that at some point I would stop, and that, you know, but what I do want to share with y'all, first of all, thank you to everyone who's been messaging me. I am A-okay, as you can see. But something I want to share with y'all, which is very interesting, is that, you know, because in the past, right? In the past, I would be like, oh my God, it's the weed, it's the weed, it's the weed. You know, like, and that becomes our fixation. And when it comes to weed addiction, it's like, all right, it's the weed. It's the weed, right? It's the weed that's calling me, or whatever, right? But from what I can tell in my experience, first of all, it wasn't the weed. Like, the weed, smoking weed in an addictive way is secondary to something else. Think of it like this, right? Have you ever, like, take food, for example, because a lot of people can relate to food. You know, we know exactly what happens if we have too much candy, or too much chips, or too much juice, or too much soda. Yet, you know those days where you just keep saying yes to Doritos? Like, you just keep saying yes. And doesn't matter if you want to diet, doesn't matter if you have these rules or diet rules or nutrition rules. Like, there are just some days where you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna have fucking everything. And consider, and I know a number of you have felt this, that like we just decide, like, we're just gonna check out and we're just gonna use food and weed and TV to just fucking check the fuck out and just go on like a dopamine binging session, you know? Like, fuck this, I'm just gonna fucking cheat and just use stuff to make me feel good. Doesn't matter if it's empty feeling. Like, I don't give a fuck if eating 3 fucking Taco Bells until I'm full as fuck and chugging 3 Cokes and smoking a joint and just fucking napping and just like watching YouTube and like TV at the same time. Like, look, does that sound relatable? I hope it does, because that's exactly what I went through these past couple weeks. And the point of this video is to let you know that those actions are secondary to our level of mindfulness. Okay? Another word I'll use there is level of consciousness or level of awareness. So if you've ever been depressed, and I don't mean to offend anyone who knows someone or is going through like very deep, heavy depression, but in a state of depression where you're just not feeling up to anything, and you can barely, you know, you can barely get up out of bed. Like, that kind of low level consciousness is totally related to like addictive substance use, for sure. For sure. Okay, I'm going to keep going because I said I would keep doing this. Anyways, back to the point. And I fucking apologize if this video seems kind of scrambled, because I am scrambled at this moment. Okay. Let me put it this way: if consider that the goal is not to prevent yourself from smoking weed. The goal is to be aware. To be aware of what is and isn't good for you. And to let me put it to you this way. As I was driving home today, just an hour ago, the thought crossed my mind and the feelings crossed my body of like, oh God, should we smoke tonight? And that was after a whole day of like, I'm good, like the right move today is to not smoke. Like, even after all that, right? There was still that thought. And there was still that feeling. And trust me, like, the idea of smoking weed and just like letting go and enjoying the high, oh God, that'd be amazing, right? But my mindfulness and awareness today, it's at a point where I'm very clear that smoking weed tonight is a backwards move, not a forwards move. And at least for me personally, I've gotten to the point where there is more pleasure in not getting the weed than there is pain in not getting it. And that came from experience, guys. Like, because I've tasted what it's like to be on top of my health and to grow in career, in contrast or in comparison to like temporary highs and unhealthiness masked by fast food love. I because I've tasted those two, right? I know that smoking more will only lead to more pain. And I know that saying no today and saying no tomorrow or whatever, and saying yes to healthiness and whatever, that's what will bring me more of what I truly want. Yeah. So overall, guys, I apologize that this video was kind of like a fucking whatever, you know? I just wanted to throw something out there just to be connected with you all again, and just to let you know that everything is good with me, and that if you find yourself, and props to you wherever you're at in your journey in regards to weed, in regards to anything really, and I just want to let you know that this is not so much about weed, and so much and more so about you being, or us being real, and us being supportive, and really overall just getting that weed is not the answer. And then that at the same time, like, sometimes we run away, and sometimes weed is our only best solution, you know? And that it's all good, and that it's on us to make the changes we want in our lives, man. It's on us, man. It's can be a tough pill to swallow, man. You know, there's no one to blame anymore. And at the same time, no one's coming, y'all. No one is coming. No one is coming. Mom and dad aren't coming, man. They're not coming. And so kind of the hard pill to swallow is that you're gonna have to figure it out. And you're gonna have to take responsibility. And sometimes responsibility fucking hurts. It hurts because you have to take ownership. And you can't just fucking drool like a baby. You gotta actually do something. Anyways, guys, thank you again. Promise you that things will be better in terms of these videos. But yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all. I thank you. Leave whatever you want to say in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Peace.